So let's bring in Sarah Aniano for more on this. She's a disinformation analyst at the Anti Defamation League Center on Extremism. Sarah, welcome. It's great to have you with us. You study extremism, correct? And these movements that seem to be in this modern era that we live in seem to be catching on with a lot of people. What is it about this time that we currently find ourselves in that seems to be making some people more susceptible to online extremism?
Sure. So misinformation and disinformation, both of which are significant in informing violent acts offline, move really quickly through the online ecosystem. And COVID was surely a catalyst for that. I mean, being forced to rely so much on the internet means that we also absorb more content on it. And that means the good and the bad. And I do think that's a huge part of what is influencing people now more than ever.
So we know that platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter have taken some steps to crack down on extremist content. Where is this radicalization primarily taking place?
So radicalization can and does take place in a fringe forum like 4chan or on mainstream platforms like you said, Facebook. So it's hard to say what has the biggest role in doing so because there are elements of radicalizing discourse everywhere. Not to mention that sometimes those connections can move offline, and that can really strengthen the bond among hate groups and extremists when that happens.
So Sarah, do you have some practical advice on what signs that you should be looking out for when it comes to extremist content? And also, I think a lot of parents are also worried about this because, we see our kids sort of disappear for hours online, and you don't want to be sort of policing every moment that they spend online. But what should we be looking out for to make sure that our own children aren't falling down one of these rabbit holes?
I think what we're finding more and more is that it's not always obvious, right? I mean, some of it is blatant. There's certain calls for violence or conspiracy theories that target a certain gender identity or race or religion. But a lot of it is veiled in rhetorical tactics like irony or humor. And that means that it can get past content moderators online really easily. So my advice would be to be really careful and try and vet everything and not be too hasty about resharing or amplifying content when we can't identify its true intention.
That humor piece of it is important, right? Because I have heard that is the way that a lot of this sort of extremist, these ideologies can get by, is by starting out by looking as if it's just a joke, right, Sarah?
Correct. I mean, meme culture is kind of based on that tactic by veiling a racist joke in something that looks like comedy or entertainment. You are able to get the message out there, even if you don't intend to amplify the harmful part of it. So meme culture would be probably one of the best examples of that phenomenon.
Yeah, and we know that meme culture is largely aimed at some young people,
absolutely,
and teenagers, and so it would seem that you have young, impressionable people taking in these messages without even perhaps realizing at first what exactly it is might be behind some of those memes. Sarah Aniano, some really important insight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.